Hey everyone, how's it going there, NFL Fanatics? It is your host here. It is the Reister. Now, before I give you my NFL picks for Week 14, I'm going to let you know and gals know how I did last week in Week 13. 12 wins and 4 losses. I was very, very happy with myself. What's your thoughts on my results on week 13? I'm very happy. Wow, I think that's the best that I did this NFL picks. It took me a long time to get improved. I wish I did this in the beginning of the NFL season, but who knows how these NFL teams do. Now I know. So now I'm gonna kick it off for week 14, and it is kicked off tonight for Thursday night football. Wait for it. Okay, this is a huge division rival. I think this is the second time they meet, or the first time. I can't keep track. The New Orleans Saints are 9-3. Drew Brees and company versus the defending NFC champions Matt Ryan and company are 7-5. What happened to Atlanta Falcons? They fell at the face of earth. Now look like they're getting their act together late in the season. But I'm going with the Saints on the road. Next matchup, Detroit Lions are 6-6 versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 4-8. What happened to the Buccaneers? I thought they were gonna be good this year. I like that quarterback. The guy who came from Winston. He came from Florida State. Won the national championship. He beat Notre Dame, my team in college. So I'm going with Detroit. Detroit Lions are trying very hard to get into the playoffs as a wild card or a division. Most likely as a wild card if they don't get pushed out. Okay, next matchup, Dallas Cowboys are 6-6 versus the 2-10 New York Giants. New York Giants recently fired their coach. They fired the general manager, I think, and they recently benched Eli. That's from the coach that got fired. That team is a total disaster, and why? I don't understand why even fire a coach this late in the season. I could understand if you're 0-4 or 0-5 early in the season, then fire him. Why fire him now? That makes no sense. Whatever. It won't make any improvements if the Giants win or lose. That's just my theory. But I'm going with Dallas. Last time I picked against Dallas, they lost. They won this past Thursday against Washington. But whatever, it happens. So I'm going with Dallas. Dallas wants to win. They want to get back in the playoffs. Next matchup, this is not going to be a good game, but it may be a good game, it may not. The San Francisco 49ers are 2-10 versus the Houston Texans are 4-8. Man, I'm going with Houston. The new quarterback named Jimmy for the Niners, they looked pretty good last week. Look like he's clicking with the offense, so he is definitely the future of the Niners offense. So they beat the Bears. I'm not really too mad because the Bears are out of it anyway. So I'm going Houston. Next matchup, this is a division rival. I think this is the first time they meet or the second time. I'm not really too sure. I can't keep track. The Oakland Raiders are 6-6. Another team of 6-6, the Kansas City Chiefs. What happened to the Kansas City Chiefs? They're the red hot team early in the season. They beat the Patriots. They beat Philly, I think, this early year. And the teams they should beat, they didn't beat. So it happened. So I'm going with the Raiders. Next matchup, this should be a good game on paper, but let's see what happens on the field. 10-2 Minnesota Vikings versus the Carolina Panthers are 8-4. I'm going with the Carolina Panthers is a home game, but maybe Minnesota Vikings could have a major upset. So last time Minnesota Vikings have a hot start was last year, 5-0, and they missed the playoffs. You guys remember that last year? Probably a lot of you don't remember. So I'm going with Carolina. Watch Minnesota win this game and I'd be upset not because I'm not a Viking fan. I want to make sure these NFL picks I get right. Okay, next one is the Green Bay Packers are 6-6 versus the winless Cleveland Browns are 0-12. I'm definitely going with Green Bay. I'd be shocked if Cleveland finds a way to win. That team is awful. Speaking of awful, the The Chicago Bears are 3-9 versus the Cincinnati Bengals are 5-7. I'm going Cincinnati. I love the Bears. Don't get me wrong. I love the Bears since the 90s. Not give up with this franchise. A lot of you give up on us Bears this season. I'm not gonna give up. Bears are just thinking about their future and their draft and what's gonna happen beyond. Most likely, John Fox is gonna get fired. The whole coaching staff. He should have got fired last week. Actually, he should have been fired a while, but I guess the Bears don't fire the head coach until the season's over. That's why, in my opinion, the New York Giants should do the same thing. Fire them to the end of the season. It makes sense. Okay, next matchup. The Indianapolis Colts are 3-9. What happened to the Colts? You know what happened? Their starting quarterback, Luck, he never recovered from his injury this offseason, and that's why it was a huge delay. And they never signed any free agency and never made a trade for a quarterback. Very stupid. Versus the Buffalo Bills are 6-6. I'm going Buffalo Bills are trying to make the playoffs. Next matchup, the Washington Redskins are 5-7 versus the red hot, in my opinion, the Los Angeles Chargers are 6-6. I'm going with the Chargers at home. Next matchup, the New York Jets are 5-7 versus the Denver Broncos are 3-9. What happened to the Broncos? They're a train wreck. I feel sorry for Eli and company. You know, Eli he runs. I guess he's the manager, or I don't know. He's up there somewhere with the Broncos upper management, you know. So I'm going with the Jets. Jets fans, you're very happy. So, and one of my friends wondering, hopefully next year Bears versus the Jets. That might happen. It may not. We'll find out sooner or later. Little flashback, little trivia. Do you remember, Jets fans, Bears for the Jets? It was in Chicago. It was a high-scoring game. That was a very good game. I forgot who was the quarterback for the Jets. Do you remember that time, Jets fans? Let me know down below if you remember that game. It was a high-scoring game. I think it was in the 40s or upper 30s, that game. I love the game. High-scoring game. Of course, the Bears won. Sorry, Jets fan. But probably most likely the Bears going to play the Jets. It'd be next season. That's just my guess. It'd be in New York / New Jersey in that Meadowlands Stadium. Okay, so I'm going to the Jets. They're trying very hard to get in the playoffs. Can they get in the playoffs? If they have help with other NFL teams, you know. Okay, next matchup, the Tennessee Titans are 8-4 versus the Arizona Cardinals are 5-7. I'm going Tennessee. I love to see Arizona pick up an upset, but it doesn't look like they're gonna make the playoffs. Okay, next matchup, this is gonna be a bar burner. The Seattle Seahawks are 8-4. Same thing for Jacksonville Jaguars are 8-4. I'm going Jacksonville at home. I'd be shocked if Russell Wilson, he's a quarterback. He is insane. A lot of key players are injured from Seattle, and they're still winning. Holy cow. So, let's see what happens. So, I'm going Jacksonville. Next matchup, this is another good game. The Philadelphia Eagles are 10-2 versus the Los Angeles Rams are 9-3. I'm going LA Rams at home. They're both great. This is definitely a preview of the playoffs. Or not. Maybe one of these two teams might get knocked off before they meet each other in the playoffs. Who the hell knows? Or maybe one of these two teams might get a first round bye. And the other team might get have the first play right away in the playoffs. Okay. And for Sunday Night Football, I said this last year, I'm going to say it again this year. Baltimore Ravens are 7-5. They try very hard to get in the playoffs. And their opponent is the Pittsburgh Steelers are 10-2. They're very on fire. And let's see what happens. I'm not a fan of this matchup because they know each other very well. They have big rivalries. They faced each other twice, one at home, one away. So it might be a high scoring game. It might be a lower scoring game. But I'm going to the Steelers at home. Okay. For Monday Night Football. The other one I just mentioned, the Steelers, the Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, the defending Super Bowl champions, the New England Patriots, Tom Brady and company, are 10-2 versus Jay Cutler and company are 5-7. Miami Dolphins, and you may know, you may not know, Rotchowski, the tight end for the Patriots, not gonna be playing because he got suspended. He did a very, very stupid thing on the field. I don't know if you guys saw it on TV or not. I was shaking my head. What? Why you did that for? He was down. Why you gotta injure him? Very stupid. So let's see what happens. Starting tonight for Thursday Night Football, and for Sunday games, and of course tonight, and of course Monday Night Football. So good luck with your teams. Good luck with your NFL picks. So who do you think is going to have the major upsets? Any ones I mentioned? Who do you think is going to have the upset? Who do you think is going to push for the playoffs? And who do you think is going to get home field advantage for the AFC or for the NFC? And who's going to get the wild card? Who's going to go all the way through and win the whole thing? Do you think it's going to be a wild card, a divisional winner, or shock the world as a wild card? So I cannot wait for this road for the Super Bowl. I'm looking forward to it. Have a good one. And this is your friend here, Ryry. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, notification. All that sums it up. Sorry I went a little overboard. I love to go into detail. So that wraps it up. I'm looking for this season to be over with, especially if I'm a Bears fan. This is just a total train wreck. But I still watch the rest of the games because I've been a Bears fan for a while now. So I'm looking forward to changes with this franchise. What about your team? Have a good one, and I'm out of here.